That was so
Word
funny.
of the sequitur.
A non sequitur, yeah. Welcome to the Late Sesh, everybody. What is going on? It is Monday, and I'm here, and you are here, and we are here together. So let's get fucking high and hang out for a little while.
Sounds good.
Together.
Painted Lady's still not here. Spartan's taking the night off. As you can tell, I quit making the beds and stuff like that. She's not here,
He's
so
living the dream, man.
shit's falling apart around here.
You have a sock on? Or no, a sock should be. I guess that's wrong. Do you have like a pair of undies and like some shorts, and a shirt over there by your feet too?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
deep man. He's got to shuffle through that shit.
That's
to
the
get to
stuff
bed.
that she lets me get away with, though. It's like
So you
it's
just
real
turn up a
bad
little
now.
more when she's gone. Yeah.
It's probably one of my biggest pet peeves, man.
What's that?
You want to see Becca get mad, right?
Beard hair on the sink and stuff like that. I make sure.
No, bro. No, don't be that guy, man.
I make sure that that's good.
You know what the key is on that is for if you're gonna shave over top of the sink like that, your beard and shit. Let me give you the pro tip right here, man. Is take a tissue or some fucking toilet paper or whatever, nice and dry while the sink is dry. You can sweep all that shit up, scoop it up, send it on its merry way. Don't be that dude that's trying to run all that shit down the fucking sink and fucking things up. Don't be
the
that
real
guy.
trick is to be like Red and just don't groom yourself, and you don't gotta worry about it.
Red secret is the lack of.
My beard.
The Yeti talk.
My beard only grows to 1/4 of an inch and then it trims itself.
Nice.
It's magic beard.
Perfect, dude.
Sure.
Why
It
is there
works.
so much hair everywhere?
Cheers, Daddy Red.
Where were we the other day? We were the other day. I like reached through my head. I did one of these and I like pulled out this tuft of hair and I was like, oh man.
That's the start of a dreadlock, Red. That's what that was.
Yeah,
actually.
not great.
It's gonna felt right in there before you know it.
Thick chunk of hair.
It was chunky.
It was like a lot of
If
hair.
you were a cat, we would cut that out.
Mhm.
It wasn't a knot. Cheers, Daddy Red.
At that point, it's a big hank of hair. You know?
Like
Mats.
Yeah, it was like a nice lock of hair.
You're like that Hungarian dog, Red. That pulley again with those.
Can you send it
Don't
to
be
me for this
dressed, man.
doll I'm making, Red?
Is it a voodoo doll?
I'm gonna
It's a doll of Red, actually.
It is a doll of Red. Okay.
Yeah.
tied up next time I hang out with you guys.
So if you could blow smoke on the doll and get him extra high.
Rekka, we just gotta save all those nail clippings and shit, right? That's what we gotta do.
Daddy Red and
Well,
Mama
put
Tooth,
nails.
maybe. Yeah.
one hell of a road trip, man. They just drove from here to Seattle. And
Oh
back.
shit.
Wow.
And like,
That's
yeah, they went on like a
a good drive, man.
That's a trip.
hell of a trip, dude. Yeah,
I
shout out
looked
to
up.
making a safe trip.
Yeah, I
So-
looked up how far it was to drive to where Painted Lady flew to. It was 36 hours. To drive.
Yeah.
It's a crazy drive.
Holy shit.
So
dude.
long.
Yeah.
That's
Now think of that gas fucking bill, right?
Seattle, too. It's about 36 hours.
hmm
They got to see like all the national parks on the
Mount
way.
Rushmore,
Mount Rushmore, yeah, like,
Yellowstone.
dude, there's what is the shit? I can't think of the name of the Native American monument that's out there.
Sitting Bull.
No, it's not Sitting Bull. It's
Fucking cool though, dude.
it's in North Dakota though.
Concept of that.
It's west of Mount Rushmore. Shit, I'd have to go through these photos real fast. But it was it's been worked on since 1940, dude. It's almost 100 years old. They've
Still
been
fucking around with it.
they've been carving this thing. It's
Crazy
on
Horse.
Crazy Horse. There we go. It's Crazy Horse. And this thing has it's Daddy Red's such a Crazy Horse. They've been carving this thing since 1940, dude, and they've barely got the face done like that. And it's supposed to be a whole statue of this guy on a horse in clouds, like coming out of the clouds. It's going to be a beautiful monument if it finishes in our lifetime or our grandchildren's lifetime or whoever's lifetime it finishes in. This is like, on track to take as long as like the Sphinx or something like that.
Isn't there a small group of people working on it?
It's
They're
it's a small family and like it's very small.
It sounds almost like they've got the Keebler elves working on it, man. It's like
Working on
very small progress, poquito.
They've been working on it. I think it like
It sounds like it's generational now.
it came to like work came to a halt. It's at one time 70s 80s.
They're gonna make a statue of us coming out of a cloud one day, guys.
That's a hell of a cloud to be coming out of.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude.
Now that's a wedding present, guys.
Now that's a wedding present, right? You know you want a 7
I'll
foot
carve
tall
you one out of soap.
Perfect.
red setter farm that we can use out in the
Potato.
Rosemary's Garden. We can put him out there and dress him up for the seasons. We can
Cannabis soap. Or
make him a red crow.
Say cannabis soap. Cannabis smoke.
I have cannabis soap. I got
So do
from
I.
Rasta Bob.
Sounds good.
Jamaican cannabis soap.
Dude,
Tab it up.
Tap it out.
that
There
time.
is no challenger for Bake's crown this evening, so this is just a casual late sesh. He gets to hold on.
Just
You know.
dabbing it up.
Practice.
Yeah, I gotta meet up with Frigoli.
And Spartan took the day off, so we can't give him shit. So
Actually, we can give him shit because
Well, the shoe is on the
every-
other foot, Baked. He
yeah,
gets you every time you're not
every
here.
time I miss, he's the one who's like, "Oh, people gave you shit," and I was like, "Did you?" Oh, maybe.
it's a good point, Baked.
Yep.
You know
You
what I
have
tell you?
earned the right to be able to give him
Yeah.
some grief.
Yeah, I can't believe he took the night off.
He's a little sleepy boy tonight.
Yeah, what a sleepy boy. That's what we're
Yeah.
gonna name him.
Usually that's what we get you for, right?
Sleepy boy. Is that what you call me when I miss it?
I usually
sleepy
refer to
boy?
the fact that like Matlock is over and Wheel of Fortune is off, and so are you. You know,
Yeah, I got
The
the. I
wheels
know
stay
what
up for
Wheel of
Murder, She
Fortune
Wrote
is.
You guys are boomers, dude.
I was gonna
boomers or
say,
boomers?
Boomers.
Bloomers?
Baked and Spartan are boomers.
No
They're
way.
trapped in
Thank you,
younger than
Sequence.
boomer bodies, but they're
Said
boomer
Baked
as
and
hell.
Spartan, so I'm free
like-
of guilt and blame on this one.
Get off my lawn.
Well, you know,
I did. I think my neighbors threw a apple or something in my lawn.
Painted
you know,
lady tried
sometimes
to
when you
throw a
see food in your
grapefruit.
lawn, Baked, you think that it's your neighbors throwing shit in there, but it's really the squirrels that are like
Could
moving
be.
from point A
whole
to point
apple?
B.
It's probably
yeah,
a neighbor,
for sure,
though.
dude.
Painted lady tried
Uh,
to throw a grapefruit from our back porch to the compost pile and got it stuck in the tree above the patio furniture.
Oh,
It's
nice.
been stuck up there for like a little over a week.
What'd
Oh,
she
that's
throw over
gonna
the fence
fall
the
one
other?
day.
Was it last week? She threw something over
A
the fence.
bird.
A bird, yeah. Let me
She
just
told
throw
the
this
neighbor
corpse
about
over
it
there.
too. She goes, "Oh yeah, I threw a dead bird."
I
over
whipped a
your
dead
fence."
bird over your fence back there. It's cool, man. It's cool.
She's like, "Oh great."
Love
We were walking
Ah,
shop.
shit.
the back of the shop where the lawnmower is stored and all that shit. And I'm gonna, hey Becca, come over here for a second. And then she comes walking by. Smells like something's dead, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's what I thought too. So we definitely have a. I'm hoping a rodent.
It's probably a mouse.
Yeah, probably a dead mouse. It was faint, so we got something like that going on back there.
That reminds me of a trick, Red. If you ever
know if that's there.
you get a nice fart and you want someone to smell it, you
Hey,
just
come on over here.
That's you do
fart
smell that?
somewhere and be like, "Do you smell popcorn or something?"
Do you smell it?
Never fall
smell.
for the popcorn trick. That's lady. Painted lady had to learn that one out of the
You wanna
gates,
eat
right?
red meat?
Yeah, she's learned that trick.
I went down a wormhole on this crazy horse.
Well, what can you report back?
So yeah,
Scoop Peterson on the
it's
scene.
far from completion, but if they finish it, it'll be the world's second tallest statue. But
He's
check
on
out the
AlexJones.com.
first tallest statue. It's in India, and it's done. Let's see this
Probably
screen.
3,000
Nope,
years
not
old.
that screen. How about this screen?
The boomer's trying to figure out how to share.
It always
You guys would
switches.
know how to
It.
share if you did it more often.
Whoa.
Well, it always switches.
Oh.
This is an actual
Oh.
statue from like far away. This thing's
Is-
huge.
Who the fuck is that?
Wow. Well, it doesn't
I don't
look
know
very
who it
big from
is.
that far away.
Ah.
Doesn't look real.
What
It
is
looks
that,
like
statue
some
for ants?
some like Mao Zedong shit, you know.
It's
Interesting.
I don't know who it is. Oh, it's of an activist.
Was that
Statue of
carved,
Unity.
carved in
It's-
place or moved there? That's wild.
It looks like look at
422
this. Look at
million.
this, Red. I saw this. The statue under construction.
Oh, okay. So it was built.
Looks like they built it there. But
Built-
it looks like they had to build towers just to build the thing.
Yeah. they-
Yeah,
And
scaffolding.
that is why we
That's
mark this
crazy.
show as educational, folks.
Man.
Yeah.
We do not
More you
like to
know.
be
2
misleading.
million for a statue.
Is that what it said?
Difference between
Yeah.
that Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse is being carved out of a mountain.
That's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only get one go at it.
Yeah.
Well, they used to use a lot more dynamite back in the day, like on Rushmore and shit.
Where it like hit it and it just
The nose breaks off.
Just remember that they say that the pyramids were only built in 20 years. So put that in your pipe and smoke.
Yeah,
it.
that's nuts. But they had help from aliens, I believe.
yeah, it's not real, man.
So.
20 years? 20 years? Is that
20
the time?
years.
That's the
There's
time.
a lot of theories.
like-
I think.
yeah.
I
I thought it
don't
was
know
like
about 20 years.
2,000 years.
No, those
Years?
I don't know
They-
about that because
Years?
look at the Great Wall, which is
Okay.
architecturally
wait a
way
minute.
less intense.
The,
And
the
they have
Great Wall is-
generations of
some
people build
places
that.
in the Great Wall have been upkept for years, and other parts are dilapidated and ran down and made out of mud
Yeah,
bricks.
but when I learned about the Great Wall, they had generations to where your grandpa's bones could
Would you
they
say
would just
so?
throw them into the mortar, so your grandpa's bones could be in the wall you're working on.
Well, Red is the one that's actually seen the damn thing.
Yeah, Scuba, what do
You
you
seen
say?
the Great Wall?
Yeah,
Yeah. So a lot of it's
yeah. Red's a
in
globe
real-
trekker, baby.
But what it is I mean, there's areas of the wall that are like, let's say, tourist destinations, or in high populated areas or something like that. Through going through main cities and stuff like that. Those areas of the wall are constantly under renovation and constantly being renovated for the last however many hundreds of years or thousands of years is being renovated. There's most of the wall.
Yeah.
9 dynasties.
You don't even know that it's there.
2,300 years.
2,300 years.
Pile of sand.
Drop in the bucket,
You walk
man.
through areas of the wall that was just piles of sand.
I mean,
It's very bizarre. I mean, I would say that the main construction would be like 2 walls. Okay, let's say the walls are like 20 feet apart from each other, filled with sand in between, rubble and brick, and then a flat, not really flat, and then steps kind of built on top. The entire wall is steps. It's all steps. There's no flat areas. You see the shit, the people riding people in gondolas and shit like that on the wall. That's in like tourist shit, and there's no flat areas of the wall where I was. It was all steps ups and steps down. Every single block was a step in some direction. It was super bizarre.
Huh.
A lot of fun.
They're made that way because it makes them resistant to siege attacks. So, like, if you shoot a cannonball at a wall that's made that way, it doesn't break in half.
won't
like
topple
a
and fall.
solid wall.
Yeah. It was really cool because you could tell how the construction was. There was 2 major walls, and then it was just filled.
well, and some of those are like 20 feet wide at certain portions of the wall as well.
And
A
then
lot of it,
every I think like 100 feet or every like maybe kilometer or whatever
There's
it
a
was.
tower.
There's a lookout tower. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
big lookout tower.
That's probably where they light the torch.
And those would be in ruins or whatever. And some of them you got to go inside. I mean, there were 4 walls and a ceiling, sort of, that you could go into. And
Just like look at
I mean,
it.
it was
There are a lot of-
cutting edge 2,300 years ago. Don't be fucking picky, bro. Damn.
dude. And you can see it from space, right? Is that one
I
of
think
the?
that's a myth.
No, I think you can see that from space. The Great Wall.
Well, I mean, from space, they can look at you and they can tell what kind of shirt you're wearing if they really want
The
to.
Great Wall. Yeah, but watch.
I think with the naked eye. I think it's with the unaided eye. I think you
The
can see
unaided eye.
unaided eye. I think you can see it from space. It's one of the only man-made.
Oh, I can hardly see the screen with the unaided eye.
That's what it is. The only man-made object you can see from space.
I mean, if you want to get real philosophical, Red, if you were standing outside and I was in a spaceship,
Could you wave?
I could see you, dude.
Yeah.
I might not be
Your
able to
general
point you out,
vicinity? Yeah.
but I could see you.
What is seeing exactly?
See,
Yeah.
you can see.
Perceiving?
You can see where I'm.
Well, I'm what? Yeah, but
Light
I'm-
waves and photons?
You're down there, bro.
I mean, tell us.
Yeah, but you can't tell the difference between me and another human.
Are you guys
I think you can
talking
see
about-
But
the
we've seen you
actual-
both
like, you could-
simultaneously from one vantage point. Faith.
Like, I
That's the
can-
whole thing.
Technically, physically see you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
You can't
worse
recognize me though. You wouldn't be able to tell me what color shirt I'm
Yeah.
wearing.
Not from
wall. Like that game where you zoom into a picture like forever and ever and ever, and you can
Yeah,
keep
but
getting
it's-
more
it's
like-
and more.
It's like your 100-year-old grandma being like, "I can see." Like, no, you can't.
No, dude, that's the whole thing. Is we've had so many
Well,
people say
that's
stupid
different.
shit.
Your version of seeing is not what I'm saying.
I
I don't
had
have
somebody tell me
Vaseline on
before
my
that
lenses,
if
dude.
there were no trees and no buildings, that they could see the ocean from where we stood. And I said, "You're higher than I am."
Well, that is a different.
The
point.
curvature of the Earth, baby.
I was
It's
gonna
a
say,
thing.
flat Earth.
curvature.
Ain't no flat Earth shit here.
No, the flat Earth. There's a video I showed my boss because he's
I mean, they can show you
borderline. He's
videos of this
borderline.
stuff,
I'm
bro. It
trying to
doesn't mean it's
save him.
true.
Borderline.
Shit
Yeah,
up.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
save him.
This is starting
And,
off rather speciously.
You're doing good work.
A
Dave.
flat earther literally outproves himself on the curvature of the earth thing because he's like, all right, Ted, you need to put your light at 17 feet, and if I can see it through this hole, which is at 17 feet, the earth's flat.
That just sounds like
And,
bad
and
science.
then he goes,
Oh, dude.
he
no.
goes, he's looking through the video and he goes, I can't see anything. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then he
Yes.
goes, hey, Ted, raise your light 10 feet or whatever it is if there was a curvature. And the guy
Ted is
raised
just
it,
such
and
a good
boom,
guy.
on his camera, the light shows up, and he goes, oh,
Oh,
okay.
They constantly
Yeah.
do those tests. They're like, all right, if there's a curve, we'll see this and this and this happening. They'll go, huh, that's weird.
huh.
Yeah, the Flat Earth Foundations, they saved a bunch of money and spent a shit ton of money on an expensive, basically gyroscope, and it ended up proving them wrong, and it was supposed to prove them right.
But I
It
mean, that's a
happens all the
big part
time.
of science too. It's like
Well, yeah,
these
but
guys
is-
trying to prove each
it's
other
just
wrong.
funny.
Postulate the theory and then perform the experiment.
I
Yep.
think they proved themselves wrong more than anybody else.
That's an important thing. Is they want you to be able to.
Show
You
your
wanna
work,
be able-
baby. You got to
I
show
want
your
to be
work.
able to do you
Peer
do my
review.
study, me do yours, and have the same
Yeah.
result. Then that way you know that it's a real one. There's no.
Well, that's
bias
what's been the
there.
problem with cannabis for so long is that there were so few people that were doing studies and such a small sample size of people that were being tested for things.
The
Yeah,
problem with flat
legality
earthers
and all
is
that.
Yeah.
all these tests have been done. Like the Greeks were doing some of these tests. It's like
Well, there's
just
funny
because they
ones,
chose to
like,
ignore it in school doesn't mean.
like the guy that insisted on shooting himself up in a rocket to prove that the Earth wasn't flat or was flat or whatever, and then killed himself. It's
I
like
mean,
Oh, I didn't
he
see
was
that
dying to
one.
know.
Airplane.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
it's just like just get in the
Up
airplane.
killing himself.
Yeah,
Just read
Yeah,
a
he
fucking book,
died.
bro. God damn.
Sure.
It doesn't have to end
Well,
in death.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
I hate to go there, but you know, dude, the people don't trust our information givers. You know, our givers of information. People just don't trust them. You know, and I don't understand. I mean, look at the whole cannabis thing.
What do we got
We were
there?
told
Flat
cannabis
Earther dies in a
was-
rocket crash. That was
Our-
rather recently, too.
leaders-
Shit.
Our leaders told us all about cannabis being the devil's lettuce for almost 100 years. You know, and I don't blame people who don't believe the normal.
You know what the fun fact one that Sequence hit me with early on that I've always thought about and laughed about is what happened to the inventor of Sequence? You gonna say it or me?
I don't remember.
The Segway.
Oh, the Segway one is the best. He rode off the Grand Canyon.
With a
Why?
Yeah,
With
with
the
the
Segway.
Segway.
because he thought it'd fly.
like trying to claim that it would stop on its own or something. Oh no.
I don't remember the details of it. I just
That was
thought it was
the-
And I'm
rather.
gonna need the details.
It was ironic in an Alanis Morissette kind
Bucket
of way.
list type of deal. Like I'm
Sad.
done.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
not the Grand Canyon, but he fell from a
A precipice of
foot
some
path.
sort. Yeah.
it
On a
says
Segway?
along the path a rugged country version of Segway was found.
Oh man.
Oh man. Ah shit. So if anybody has any questions on cannabis, since this is supposed to be cannabis content, feel free to toss them in here. We're just gonna keep vamping up here and getting high. Which is fine, but you know,
If
it's
you're
all up
not
to you guys.
entertained by that, then
I
why are
mean, you know,
entertained by it?
you're a rough crowd, babe. It's a rough crowd.
Just Google led me to who choked on his own invention. And others
The guy that
similar.
invented the
There's probably a
mouth
list
part.
of people. There's a lot of people with chemicals that kill themselves making it.
One of the famous ones was Jack Daniels kicked his safe and died from sepsis or whatever.
infection in the toe or some stupid
Yeah.
shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pour a little whiskey on there. She'll be
I was
right
gonna
as
say, well,
rain
you
by the
should've-
next
yeah.
fortnight.
What about Harry Houdini asking that dude to punch him in the gut and he died?
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah.
Internal bleeding. Yeah.
Stomach. Yeah. That was here in Detroit or something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, what's the Mike Tyson line? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, that was downtown. That was at the Majestic Theater.
In Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, Harry Houdini got Yeah, that
He
happened like
got fucking murked in Detroit.
backstage.
D.
Yeah, no shit. Backstage at the Majestic, I think that's where he had that show. Was at the Majestic?
He might have owed somebody some money, and that was the cover story they gave.
probably the cover
Had to
story.
rough him up over some fucking
You know, Scobo, you're probably
couple of wooden nickels, man. Yeah.
yeah, dude, no doubt. Houdini probably was up and down Michigan Ave too often
Yeah, buddy.
between Detroit and Chicago.
Outdoor update. All my plants are looking fucking fantastic. Like I'm not even growing them. Like they're at somebody else's house. They look that damn good. So that's my report. I don't want to jinx anything.
Exciting.
Yeah, man. You know, the Girl Crush F2 is looking fucking really, really nice. Like I really like the structure on that. I like the leaf set. So
I'm
Nice.
noticing how green, like deep green they are.
yeah.
So good.
Got any flowering yet?
The
Pistols, anything?
yeah, I'm starting to see pistols on the autos, but they're so fucking small, dude. They're like probably a foot tall.
Yeah, that's how
So-
mine at the here turned out.
I was like, you know, and I took these ones and I started my seeds in the root riot cubes under a dome. And as soon as I was getting any kind of root shoot through there, I put them in the 7-gallon pots, trying to get to the point where they could get the most full sunlight because I knew they were going to flip over. It's my first time with autos.
Yeah.
So it's a good experiment. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to 2020 Mendocino on that gear. The autos that I'm running, I've got a Whiskey Zulu and a couple of glue sniffers out there.
What's the cross on the glue sniffer?
Glue sniffer is GG4 crossed with
The whip.
the whip. Thank you. Yeah, the whip is something that they worked on for several years, and it kind of became a flagship thing for them.
Strains like that are what make you a breeder, really, because everyone else has everything else, right? Anybody can get a cut of cookies or whatever.
Right,
but
I'm working with Forum Cut here.
when you create your own strain and you never sell it, then you have your own thing that you can use for your projects, and that's kind of what they did with that one.
Let's see. Cannabis Driver says, I'm looking for a blueberry for the fall grow. Seeds here now has 1 million. Go DJ Classic or not. Here's what I would say about DJ Short's blueberry as someone who has not grown it, but has known many people that have. Notice I said have. I don't know anybody that has continued to grow DJ Short blueberry for a really, really long time. Red was one of the last holdouts for it. Red, why'd you drop DJ Short's blueberry?
Oh, it didn't yield the best that I wanted it to. It was pretty much it. Honestly, I still had 3/4 of a pack to hunt through, and I kind of wanted to keep hunting. I never had like DJ Short's cut, right? You know, like
Right.
his
You just
work.
had the pack.
I just had the pack. And I still have the other half of that pack, and I have another full pack. I'm still in debate on whether or not I want to keep that other pack and try to hunt it or give it, you know, try to sell it to somebody else, try to let them hunt. But I have that. I have Newberry, some other stuff. I really like his gear. I ran through those F13s. And those F13s are really cool. They were like, they grew like if you want to talk about like sativas growing, like they didn't have like your normal like cola style cluster bud. They had like these really weird like fingery, like foxtaily, almost like that Dr. Grinspoon looking.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Calyxes all over the place, like just stacking calyxes. It was like really cool, really heady stuff. It was great weed, you know. It was awesome. It just didn't yield the best.
Yeah,
a lot of his stuff has different terpene profiles than what a lot of people are used to or really favoring, even though they're great terpene profiles and they're like euphoric and they're uplifting and they're nice. They're kind of funny.
Yeah, I have not found many blues that are huge yielders. I mean, I did have the blue gelato that I got off. Shout out to Dro Grows for that.
Floral with like a hint of, I keep mixing my words. They're like floral with a hint of fish and like, you know, like really weird. Well, the F13 was like fishy, you know, it definitely had like a fish type of a smell to it. A lot of his other stock is just very like floral, you know, even the blueberry has that like floral berry type of flavor, earthy, floral.
Baked is a big fan of the blues. I grew a blueberry muffin from Humboldt that was, good. Again, not the greatest yielder and not super potent smoke, but very, very flavorful and very tasty.
I was gonna say, I know Riot Seeds. He was a big fan of blueberry, so a lot of his stuff is reworked blueberry, like the Blue Bonnet and stuff like that. He just took DJ Short's work and tried to improve it, so people could
That
try
was one of
find
those
some.
early strains where it really had great terps.
Late
It was
70s, yeah.
one of the first ones that really somebody had refined the plant and got
Uh,
something more out of it. So
Blueberry
that's
for me is the first one that I heard about that I was like, well, yeah, this is bullshit. There's no way that you can make something that is weed taste like some fucking blueberry. So
Well,
then me and my
exactly.
friends were like, what are they doing? Are they dumping like blueberry flavoring in the water? How do you think they're doing it? Is it something they're spraying on it? We didn't have any fucking clue. It was
Right.
just like, wow, this is completely different than what I'm used to.
It's like, oh, I smoked pancakes like last week, and I'm like, wow, that's tastes kind of like pancakes. It's like a little sweet, and and it's like that's really interesting that cannabis has come that far where you can have names like Runts or uh, Trop cookies or whatever, and they make sense, and you're like, oh, it does taste like a clementine.
The
or
dudes,
whatever.
the dudes in the hood where I used to go down on like the west side and go get weed. They were hip to the little flavor drops. They drop a little bit of a flavor drop. I don't know if it would just go into the bag itself or they actually put it on the weed or if it was in like the whole pack or whatever it was in. But it made whatever brick weed that you were getting just smell like blueberries, dude. Just like ripe little blue. And they wouldn't, no way this is blueberry. No way, dude. It was nothing like it. It would smell like very, very, and it was all brick, like $80 ounce.
I remember I was watching a Grow Tube Roundtable a long time ago.
Ounce.
And they were talking about Subcool was saying that he used to have this one jar, he used like a film canister thing. And he'd had this one fucking really, really great smelling weed. And when it was gone, he would add other shit to that jar and shake it up and try to impart some of those remaining things onto the bud. We've all been there.
I remember using apples and fruits just to rehydrate it, but never to give it a fruity flavor. We would actually add things like honey, syrup, and things like that to the Philly, and like this is like Philly blunt days. It's how long ago?
Phillies and White Owls.
Yeah, and add it to like wipe it on there and then let it dry. Do like an extra dry out, so the honey would dry on the blunt. That would be the only kind of flavor. We didn't have flavored blunts. It was just regular Swisher Sweets or regular Philly blunt, blunts. I don't even think cigarillos were popular, so they weren't in like mass demand. They were behind the counter, but they weren't like what you were getting for blunts. You're getting Phillies, getting the big ones, or getting White Owl, and then the White Owl in the tubes. That was just such a wasteful thing, Just White Owl tubes are everywhere for a long time.
We did Phillies, Dutch Masters. We do those, and then the games.
I got hit the Dutch
games.
Yeah, if I'm gonna roll my own and crack something, it'll be a Dutch Master. That's what I really like. I know a lot of people really like backwoods. Backwoods are pretty potent in that.
Backwoods are thick.
Very thick. I prefer Dutch Master. I think it's just the flavor that they have. I think.
We used to live in the state that made them, so it was like we were getting fresh ones. We always felt like.
I like the washed backwoods. We fucking rinse it off and fucking roll it up. That shit was that was really smooth.
I like backwood. I like rolling a backwood. It's pretty cool once you like learn how to roll a backwood and you can like roll it up from end to end. It's totally different. It's not like rolling a single leaf at all. You like roll the whole thing and like it's super bizarre, but it works. It works out really nice when you do it. You're like rolling it in a spiral, like the outside of a roll of toilet paper. Roll of toilet paper, spiraled up.
Sequence was answering a question up there about the number of trichome heads in a centimeter that you should be looking for, and if there's a difference between indica and sativa. And I really liked your answer, bro.
It's an interesting question, but really, An easier way to think about that is just if you really want to do that, visual only gets you so far. Just get your stuff tested because the shinier, prettier, more showy buds, sometimes that's only a 19% plant. Sometimes it's a 29% plant. You don't need to be counting them. That's not going to make any sense because you have no idea what the percentages are within
Right.
that plant. That said, every plant's different. If, like you said, if you're growing an indica or a sativa, they're going to vary. They're going to be a little bit different. You're just going to grow a plant and look at it and be like, "That's a good looking bud," or "That's not a good looking bud." Sometimes you'll grow buds that don't have like shiny trikes on them that still smoke really good.
They've got the flavor still and stuff. So it's
Sometimes
it's
like
not
the
like you're
more
seeing
chem
that.
style plants are like that where they don't get
Greasy.
like real they like they're greasier or something.
Yeah.
So it's not always what they look like either.
Yeah. Sometimes I think there's an overall assumption that a trichome is a trichome is a trichome, and it's
Not
every
at all.
trichome is different depending on the genetic variety that you're dealing with. You know, it might be a larger trichome and it may contain different cannabinoids than another. Some plants, the trichome density, think about like purple punch, right? Has very, very heavy or high trichome density. Lots and lots and lots of little tiny little trichomes.
17%. Yeah.
Super close together. Yeah, it tested like 17%. But then look at something like Death Star that has like trichomes are spaced further. Sorry, I'm gonna Becca and me.
Yeah, he's trying to Donkey Kong over there or something.
A low trichome density. It might be a little more greasy. Might have some different stuff, but it's going to test at 25, 28%. And in a different plethora of cannabinoid levels.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you just got to smoke it, man, and it either does the trick or it doesn't.
Well,
Whether it's
relative
fucking
to your
fruity.
goals, right? Because the question was like, "What's a fair number?" And it's like, "Well, what do you think is a fair number?" In my opinion, it's a grower has a perpetual type garden or whatever. So you have keeper plants that you always grow. Like all of us have our own plants or had our own plants. And so when you pop a seed, you go, is this better or worse than the plants
Is it
that I have
bumping somebody
already?
off or not?
And that's really how you answer that question.
Man, I used to struggle with that so much when I first started growing. Because in the beginning, it was like I had one fucking clone, so I had one strain, and then, time goes on, I get a bag seed. Time goes on, I get a couple of cuts from some friends and shit.
Or you'd feel like you had to keep them because you
Yes.
just popped a pack or whatever.
That's
You're
it
like,
right there.
now I have to keep it. And you don't have to.
Greenhouse Seeds the Church was like that.
I thought everything had to look like haze. I thought everything had to be these like 2-liter bottle size. My buds weren't the size of 2-liter bottles. I'm like, why aren't my buds the size of 2-liter bottles? It's genetic. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff's very much genetic, and so is like all that trichome stuff. Anything you could think that has to do with the trichome density or size of trichomes, a lot of it is genetic. Could you really, really fuck it up depending on how bad your environment is and not get good trichome density? Yeah, but generally it's all dependent on, the varieties that you're hunting and whatever. If you want more trichomes and you're not getting it with whatever variety you're hunting, maybe try something through the purple punch variety. You know what I mean? You might be surprised how dense those trichomes can be, or they'll wash better or whatever.
What's that other way that we talked about before? If you have a plant that you grow and you want to know how it's going to wash, didn't you say something about take a bud, put it in a mason jar with some ice water?
Dangman Dan used to do that.
Shake it up, and then that'll give me an idea of kind of where I'm at.
It'll give you an idea of like what trichomes are going to pop off, but then you're going to have to sieve it to understand like how big those trichomes really are. But then,
they're just kind of visually looking at the return and going, okay, that's going to wash well enough for me to wash my crop. They're deciding before they wash their crop if they're going to wash it or not with that little test wash.
Some things just
sometimes
don't
you
return.
get nothing, and then you don't want to wash that.
You don't want to wash that.
You're getting blasted instead.
You mentioned the greasy. There's the stitholithic hairs that aren't even trichomes, but they're in there, and they're in there, and they also contain terpenes, and they also contain alcohols or esters or whatever else they contain. They're secondary metabolites nonetheless, whatever they are. They're in the stitholithic hairs just the same. and they may not fall off or behave or respond the same as a terpene or as a trichome. Trichome, is that what we're talking about? Trichome head does when it falls off, or the trichome stem does if it falls off. These things are going to act totally different. They may not even fall off at all. They might just they're greasy, you know. Who knows with them? You might have to like get those off with a solvent or something, you know, because they're like oils.
There's different methods for different kinds of applications, and then again the finished product too. Like I grow for flower and flower only, whereas you know, let's say in this instance that they're growing strictly for the press. You know what I mean? So what may be good medicine for me may not work out at all for them.
Well, and like a lot of people are looking for them washing trichomes, like Astro Charlie's talking about here.
Can you tell me what that means for people?
Breeders that are known for that now, that grow genetics, they're well known for returning well for washing hash. And that makes a lot of sense because washing hash is a popular hobby thing in the community now. People like to do that. And they want to know that when they wash their whatever, like we know GMO returns well, they're breeding strains that they know will wash well. And that's
Can you name a couple of those breeders for somebody that's just checking this out?
Bloom is really popular for that. And then there's a lot of other breeders. Baked is a better guy as far as keeping up on the genetics these days. But
it's pretty much Bloom is the only one I know has made a message and a point that they want to breed for washing. But literally, as we talk, there's probably 3 new breeders, so it's hard to keep up with. I don't know. There's a lot of strains associated. Like if you go to Pure Pressure's website, which is a press company, they used to have a list of the top 5 they like to mess with. It was like papaya, GG4, and 3 others, and it was all if it had crosses, you know, with that you're liable to have good yields. But
didn't you have that papaya?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't get washed, but I didn't like it enough even to care about getting washed. Indica B, he got a papaya from somebody else. I think he grew from seed. And that one was like a gassy tropical. That's exactly what I wanted. So
remember, you can always Google it.
Yeah.
Like enough people wash strains now that you can Google like
yeah,
Girl Scout cookies wash return and get a fucking result, most likely. If you don't reword it a couple ways and see if you can't get a result. There's a lot of them out there.
Here's the top solventless friendly strains of 2019. So it's a little older, but Chem Dog. So that's pretty broad. Gorilla Glue, GMO, we already said that. Sour Kosher, which was DNA genetics. The Sour Diesel with Kosher Kush, okay.
You know what might kind of issue I have with that
supposed to wash
is you're saying things like Chem Dog and which breeder? You know what I mean? Because I can buy a pack, you can buy a pack, Becca can have one, red and sequence, and we can all have different breeders, and it all says Chem Dog on it.
So like that's where
I believe it's the clones there.
Okay, okay. This is in-house shit that they. Never mind, I misunderstood. My bad.
Well, no, because like the way, like right here, look, like Gorilla Glue, regardless of its name, Gorilla Glue or Original Glue or GG4. So I don't know. I think it's anything related, like Chem Dog. I don't know of anybody with a cut of Chem Dog.
No.
You know, straight Chem Dog.
I know people that have been excited to grow crosses of it now. You know.
Yeah, but like you get crosses all day. I've got 800 of them, you know, but I don't know anybody with a cut of that. So I gotta assume they just mean, you know, have that in it. But I don't know.
Won't necessarily translate, but it'll get you a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's got the potential. I think like Purple Punch. They're saying cookie and cake crosses. The white. You remember the white?
I do. That's a Florida
White
strain,
Fire. Yeah. I don't know. And then papaya and its crosses. So it's like, which I guess papaya comes from. It looks like Nirvana seeds back in the day. Citral number 13.
That's what I had.
And ice.
Yeah.
I remember ice.
That was the very first thing that I ever got. Was I got a very sickly Charlie Brown Christmas tree clone of that.
Oh,
It took me
nice.
forever to veg it out. And I've told the story 100 times, so I won't go through the whole thing. It was like, hey, if I am able to get 2 ounces off this plant, then I'll fucking keep growing. And I got just a little bit over 2 ounces of it. And that shit used to be so, like, in the description, they said narcotic, extremely narcotic.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, dude, I would pass the fuck out on the floor, petting the fucking dog and shit, wake up with my face by the air conditioner vent in the floor, like, holy shit, that's some fucking great shit, man.
What was it we smoked at Freedom? Freedom Queen. And that was the groggiest crap I had to fight through.
I did
Hardest
too.
thing ever driving home.
Really?
I was just like, this is the
is
groggy.
horrible.
I just wanted
This
to
is
sleep.
like edibles. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. So there's definitely some out there. But yeah, I mean, with the washing, you just gotta find them. I mean, there's so many. I know there's something called Wilson Zero. You find anything crossed with that, it's
I've
usually
never
a
heard of
good
it.
washer.
I
Yeah,
I'm afraid that like isolating genetic varieties specifically for washing is going to kind of like limit the like variety of terpenes to an extent, right? Because
see, that
There's such polyhybrids though now.
well, that's what I was just about to get to too. Is like also you can get all the yield you want, but that in a sense that just means profit. That's just money. That's unless you're smoking
It's
all
not
your
quality.
stuff.
well, because
That-
my example
But if you don't have
was
terps,
like Citrique and Rainbow
yeah,
Driver, these like really greasy, like they're not going to wash really well, but they're a different buzz than Strawberries and Cream that's going to wash great.
Right.
Gorilla Breath is going to wash great. And those are all heavy indica, heavy sedating. I can see probably 80% of everything that washes really well being on that indica spectrum, whereas I would love to see something that washes really well and be a true like uplifting sativa
yeah.
buzz. You know what I mean? I would like to see that because I want to see like the limes. Now we have
You
a lot
definitely see them. You see all those get extracted in the hydrocarbon.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
so when you
Yeah.
use solvents, typically the greasy ones do better.
I want to see lemon, lime, and pine in a heavy quantity in rosin.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see this stuff left to the side and not get included into breeding. If we're talking about breeding,
But I
right?
think that's what they're breeding for.
Right.
I think that it's just literally rosin is what 5 years old for mainstream. Like it's really not that old. So I mean, we've got give them
Is
like
it only
10
5
years.
years?
I don't know, 5-10 years old.
I would just-
Like hash rosin, like
People
5-6 star.
than just
Right.
It's not
washability,
yeah.
Well,
because washability might not include the limes and the pines.
Well, and also there are people breeding for hash, but like that's just a small group. Red, like there's a million people breeding for this and breeding
Yeah.
for that. So like that's what we're gonna have to do is just figure out what we, like you said, get that uplifting into rosin somehow.
Nothing is going to create a new
yeah.
bottleneck like it ever was before.
Maybe
No, in
opinion.
that'll be one of your breeding projects or something.
That was going to be my reply. Is that the reason why we had the bottleneck before was because the growing was illegal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why skunk went away and stuff, was because people couldn't grow that stuff. So that's why. Now there's guys that, like Fergoli's not caring if a strain washes well. That's not going to matter to him. He's going to get a return on every strain, so he doesn't have to limit himself that way. There's going to be a whole lot of growers, like I don't wash anything, so
No.
that doesn't matter anything to me. So, I would think that a majority of the people that grow cannabis don't wash, so you don't.
Nobody,
worry
not
about
everybody
that.
has a press. I mean,
Just
you
like
guys
certain
do.
breeders only breed for autoflowers,
Yeah, I'm always in fear of that bottlenecking. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I don't. Yeah, I
You
don't
see
think
when
it'll
something
happen.
goes hype, all of a sudden all the popular breeders kind of
I
flock
think
towards
As big as Cookies was, it hasn't bottlenecked anything.
I think we were in a bottleneck, and now it's like we're coming out of one.
Yeah.
So it's just good because now as everything gets legal, you got everyone with their own idea. I like raspberries. I want some raspberries. I want some. Just knock me in the face. I want to wake up on a vent.
Have you ever had
Skilbo was
raspberry
saying.
cough?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude.
But
That's
like
when you know you got the goods. You know, man.
that's
You wake up
potent.
with the
So yeah.
for sure.
But like so, and I'm sure I know so many of my friends. They want sativas. They want like you said, the uplifting. So I got a buddy that's hunting through sour diesels to find those so he
Well,
can
is
breathe
it
with
that they
that.
want sativas or they think they want sativas?
Oh no, he
Because
wants sativas because he wants to be up cleaning and doing things and
okay,
proactive.
that's his medicine. Then he wants. Okay.
Yeah, for sure, because he does not want to be stuck on a couch.
Yeah.
But
I can't do that either, man.
I'll
Well, I
take it
think
either
that-
way.
I mean,
So,
anything fruity, those fruity terpenes, anything like gassy,
Yeah.
like the glue, glues me to the couch. You
Good
know,
shit.
yeah.
anything earthy, like Kush, anything with that like OG Kush undertone, like night. It's curtains. You know, that's super.
Within
It's
like minutes.
I mean, it's great if I just want to like veg out and like brrr and vegetate and like have the munchies and like chill and not do anything. I'm like, this is cool, but like I can't, man. I'm just on the go. So there's just so much to do all the time.
That's I think that's the sativa lover's holy grail is to find something that hits everything. Like uplifting high, the flavors that you normally don't get with sativa. It's like this Russell that Spartan gave me. This stuff doesn't smell like anything, doesn't taste like anything. You blow out, it was like you blew out air, but the high is super just clear-minded, uplifting. Like literally wake and bake material if you want to get something done that day. It's really nice. So like it's like, okay, so what do you do with that? Do you throw that cut out or are you going to use it like a tool? Because that genetic, marker or profile or whatever that gets that high is in there. You just have to pull it out now if you really like that.
That's why people still are, chasing after that old vortex from Subcool.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's talking about that soaring high.
I'm about to bring back a little Chernobyl project. We got 2 males and 1 female, so I'm gonna be able to F2 in 2 different ways. So 2 different males.
Dedicated
Chernobyl.
tent for that? Or are you doing it outdoors? You're just doing wild open?
I'm probably gonna. So what I'm probably gonna do is put a tent upstairs, away from everything else, and just flower out the males, one at a time, and collect the pollen and freeze it because it'll be good for about a year. And that way I can go and I don't have the female yet. And then when we get the female, I'll be able to paint it on them when I decide to flower that one. I'll just paint a bud or 2, get some seeds and go from
That's
there.
how Sequence did it, yeah. What was that?
Yep.
Was it white? What the fuck was that you did that you gave Narwhal?
Oh,
It was Deep Chunk F12.
Deep Chunk. There you go.
And
white cherry.
Royal White Cherry.
There it is.
Yeah.
With Crescendo.
Here's a good example. Here, this rainbow driver.
Yeah, buddy.
Of course, you're not gonna be able to see it. Those are little tiny little trichomes, It's
Yeah.
greasy. And if I drop
It
this,
doesn't even dry sift that well.
no, that's what I mean. If I drop this bud on the table here, nothing's gonna pop off. That doesn't have any trikes. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. We harvested a known. You guys heard of super booth? That's going around because it's a great washer for yields. But we were harvesting that, and we had 2 different people switch out the room from cutting down plants because of the super booth was throwing just dry trichomes in the air. So your eyes. I don't know if you've ever gotten trichomes in your eyes. You know
Oh,
it
yeah.
sucks. So it was almost like that, but like lightly because they're not getting pushed in. They're just in the air. So you're walking into them. Now, like I was fine. I could feel it a little bit, but you could look on their faces. They'd have red and they were constantly doing this. And I was like, you
It's
need to
giving
go
me
out there.
flashbacks of a get together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The strawberries and cream is like just super dense. Like if I drop the bud, it would just be, you'd
Yeah.
a little little ground zero that it would create. But then you have these guys here, like nothing. Yeah, exactly what Sco said. It doesn't sift well. It doesn't do any of that shit.
I was bummed when I trimmed mine because I've had a trim tray for years, man, and I fucking love that thing, man.
I would hate for this to get lost. So I'm glad that some other it does remain in the breeding. Or this is what I would like to keep around.
It's one of my favorites.
And it's just, it's skunky. A little skunky. It smells like gasoline, like fuel, like unleaded gasoline.
It's good shit. Talking about Piff in chat, I never got to try that, man, but that is some legendary shit from.
I got you, Skilbo. When I get it,
yeah, man, I gotta try it.
Because when I got the Blue Dream, we got a deal where we ordered 2 and you get 1 free. So I got Blue Dream. He got what's called the AJ Sour Diesel Cut, and then the freebie I let him choose because I just cared about Blue Dream, and it was I don't know if it was straight Piff or a Piff something, but it was obviously something good enough for somebody to keep a cut of. But he's gonna flower those out, and then I'll get a cut, and I can't wait to see what that Piff does because I've heard a lot of things about that one.
For
it's
fucking
like that
25, 30
and the
years.
legendary. It's the Piff is an old school one, and then there's the Puck, and those two are kind of you don't hear about them often, but they're supposed to be really, really good. Oh my god!
Mine is fucking. I have a pack of pin counting paralyzer, which is a really super old school Michigan strain that's been around, and somebody did some work with it and tried to keep it alive. So I wanted to try that for outdoor, but I ended up getting the hook up on these 2020 Mendocinos and went with the sure thing rather than let's roll the dice on my first outdoor grow with some shit that I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna do with the clone if it's good?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take a cut off that shit and fucking be ordering a 4x4 tent or something. I got more than enough fucking lights. I'll hang that shit up right next to me over here. I'll just have to put a drapery up or something. I can't let it go, man. That's why I haven't asked Spartan for the glue back yet. Is because I want to make sure that when I fucking ask for it and I get it back, that I'm not gonna lose it,
Yeah.
And I didn't lose it. I had to shut my shit down because I had to fucking move after 11 years. So.
Oh yeah. This shit happens.
I just think of all of the different variations of this plant that are out there, man, and it fucking really is amazing. I had a contractor come by today, was doing the backsplash for me, and we were, he rolls up and I'm smoking a fucking joint. So well, the jig is up. Okay, this dude already knows. So we were talking about it, and apparently his old lady works at she's a trimmer at one of these places down by Pleasant Trees and all that shit on 94, and she suffers from some really wicked bad fucking headaches and shit. So we're talking about cannabis, and I was trying to explain to him the whole concept of your body has an endocannabinoid system, and there's this really cool thing about cannabis is it has all these cannabinoids in it. So if you think of the endocannabinoid system as just a series of different locks in your body, just as a visualization, you think of these cannabinoids as just a series of skeleton keys that are floating around. And, you can find real relief with this plant. We're talking about, the creme de la creme, we're talking about pressing, we're talking about all this stuff. But really what it comes down to is everybody wants that effect or the flavor. Ideally, we'd love to have both. Having said that, we are almost 6 minutes Dougie Fresh. We'll be hash timing it up. So make sure you guys get all your accoutrements together. 6 minutes Dougie Fresh, we're on.
Let me see what this Piff strain was. I'm trying to find out.
Flavor can equal effect.
You know what's some good rosin?
What's that?
Dan's PG4.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh.
His rosin's so clean. It's on another level. Oh, we got New York City Piff number 3, which is Cuban Black Haze times Northern Lights number 5. Purple City Genetics. Yeah, so we'll see how that works. Yeah, Dan, he said he's got some new stuff coming out, so I'm excited. I've been seeing some of his flower that he's harvested, so I knew eventually one of those would make it to rosin.
They're really good.
Sequence, do you see Noob's question in chat for you? He's trying to do a wellness check on you, bro.
Am I still feeding myself? Eat like shit. Eat like shit, yes. Eating enough, eating plenty.
Eating plenty. Eating for two.
I'm ordering all the food that she doesn't like.
How
She
much
likes to
ice
eat
cream have
healthier than me.
you had since she's been gone?
None.
What? Oh, you only eat that shit when it's hers, is what you're telling us.
Oh, dude, she spoils me. We'll be like watching a movie or something, and she'll go like chop up strawberries and put them on ice cream and bring it to me and stuff.
I guess that's a perfect time for us to give a shout out to Painted Lady. I hope she's having a good time.
Shout
Nice
out
trip.
to Painted Lady. She's been having a great time. She's chilling on the ocean side. She's got some stuff up on her story. The weather was a little better today, so they enjoyed the water again today.
When's she coming back? Will she be back for? Are we doing a Wake and Bake Saturday? That's a good way to plug this right now.
We probably can.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here first, live and on the scene. Scoop Skilbo getting the story for you folks.
I've got my kids, but I had them the last time I did the show, so
Okay.
She's coming back on Thursday.
This Thursday.
Mhm.
Thursday.
Is that a Hawaiian punch baked?
Do you have a juice?
No,
bar?
I don't have any Hawaiian punch. This is just a seltzer.
I thought it was a Hawaiian punch. I saw the red band.
No, I wish.
Shout out to Tahitian Treat if everybody knows what that shit is like.
No. Way to kill the combo.
That's what I do, man. Kill the fucking combo.
Tahitian
Take it in
Treat.
another direction, man.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, so I got some star fuckers going. Nothing popped up yet though. But
Who's the breeder on
excited
that?
for those. That's Top Dog. It's a Cincy Star times.
Sensi Star is one half of Death Star.
Yeah,
That's
what
where the
is it?
star comes from, right?
Yes.
Totally.
Sensi.
I don't know what it's crossed with.
You know,
I wanna-
Sensi used to be that breeder back fucking 35 years ago when everything started, really. You know, like having all of the legacy strains. So many of those were Sensi seeds.
I'm hoping to have a solid stash of Death Star seeds this summer. It'll
That'd
be
be cool.
Death Star green. Well, one of a couple things, man. I'm either going to let this plant that popped up male pollinate my garden, or I'm going to let one of these green rooms pollinate my garden. I want this plant that popped up that has some serious nice structure, super thick stem, and like has like 11 points to the leaves, which is kind of why I think it's a male. I always find that males tend to have more leaf points than females off that first run. So some of these ones that are like 9s and 11s, I'm thinking might be males. We'll see, because a lot of them have 9s. So and by that I mean, like, that hand spread on the leaf point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's usually 5, or when they're stressed 3, or OGs are 3.
1.
5.
If they're super stressed.
They're super stressed, but like sometimes they're like super healthy too, and you'll get 7, 9, 11, 15. Just huge spread of leaf. I've seen double stack leaves recently, like some crazy growth. So like, hopefully it's just nice healthy no-till environment is what I think it is. That's really what I think is ultimately going on. Even the citrique is like fattened out and got 7 points on their leaves, and that's usually like hardly getting 5. It's difficult to keep happy indoors.
Something's working right then.
Yeah. I'm super happy, man. So we're hoping to get a little bit of everything to have some seeds in it, including like lemon dozy, and there's a hippie crasher. There's all kinds of stuff back there, but the green room would give us some CBD. Whatever's out there right now that's popped up, I'm thinking it might be Girls Gone Wild, so maybe it's like got that black.
Get that anthocyanins, man.
Yeah, something in it. But if it's not, then it could be a green room cross of something, or just like, who knows what the pollen that was in the air is. It could be a neighbor that had some fire.
Did you ever get the Girls Gone Wild tested?
Who knows?
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and it tested out at like a mean like 13% THC or something like that. And it was a little bit of pinene. It had like 1 or 2% pinene in it. It was like a lot of pinene. No, 0.1 or 0.2% pinene. And then it had like a decent amount of myrcene and some other stuff, but it was very uplifting. It was only like 13, 14% THC, but that shit was like kind of slapped me in the face every now and then. It was really, really good. It was very purple, very black purple.
Black purple, yeah.
I tend to see a correlation between purple
Hash time.
and myrcene. I see myrcene a lot in purple genetics. Myrcene is a sedative. It's like a known sedative, you know. It's like very sedating. That's why a lot of purple genetics also give me like sleepy, you know, and those like you can associate like indica, I do the quote fingers, indica like effect with purples or with colorful fruity flavors. Usually the fruits have traits of purple in them as well. You know, it's just it's
That used
not
to be one of the most dominant fucking terpenes. And
yeah,
now
it's a natural thing for these plants to go. I mean, maybe it's stress for them to get the anthocyanins in the first place, but it's part of their genetic code to, you know, metabolize these anthocyanins because they'll do it with or without low
Look
temperature.
at you guys with your fucking dab rig and shit.
They'll do it with or without
Adorbs.
additional molybdenum.
Dwarves.
That granddaddy purple will purple out without additional molybdenum, unless it's, you know, I mean, it goes purple in the outdoor, it goes purple in
Are you still
gas.
going?
I'm just gonna let
Skilbo, when you grow up, you can get a dab rig of your very own.
Yeah, dude, I need to get a fucking lung transplant before I want to fucking go biting that off. Or I need to get one of those tiny
Just get like a
the
Puffco
mini,
or something and keep it on
need
low.
the mini Rippertons, man. The
Positive
one
yeah.
I was showing off the other day was the tiny.
Still a positive self-talk. We lost sequence.
I'm positive that my lungs will not allow me to get fucking too loose with the dabs.
Huh.
Do you think you could smoke 8 joints before somebody could do one full flight of dabs?
It depends on how long we're talking. I am sure that I could do 8 joints in a program. I'm sure of it. Just
A
'cause it takes a
program,
while
that's
to burn
2
it out.
hours.
Like imagine getting one of our 4-packs, right? We give
Right.
you a couple 4-packs. You got to get through 2 of them before they get through the flight.
So we're talking, and
okay.
on average, flights have finished within 40 to 50 minutes. So
I would give it fucking hell, bro. I would make a very concerted effort. I will say that.
The
I
point
don't know if I could finish it before, but I guarantee you that I would finish it, and I would be able to stand amongst the rest of you that have done the challenge and ran the gauntlet.
I wanna
I
get
don't want to miss out, man.
I wanna get some of y'all the gravity bong, and then we'll do a gravity bong challenge.
Oof.
And it'll be like every 8 minutes
Ooh.
or every 10 minutes or
Oh,
something.
dude, no.
You gotta rip one of those terrible, terrible things.
Terrible
and-
idea.
Oh, it'll be awesome though. And
Terrible idea, but it'd be awesome though.
yeah. And that'll be fun. And maybe we can, I don't know, give one away or something like that. That'd be a cool prize. Somebody out there could
really-
enjoy a gravity bong.
I want a student glass one.
I want one after I try one, because if it's not gonna hit like that $80 gravity bong,
Dude, it hits
then
hard.
I don't need it. Yeah.
I want a
I
student,
smoked out
but
of
I
one
want it
lot.
branded our own brand and not a cookies brand or
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely not a cookie.
What's the price difference on those guys?
dude, those things are like $600.
Yeah,
They're not cheap.
We looked them up the other day. It was $500 for the student.
If you want to smoke some hash out of some glass,
There you go.
Okay.
Get
I
you
mean,
a red dome.
You get up into the $500 prices, you're talking about like a volcano vaporizer, which was the Rolls Royce of fucking expensive weed shit for a long
which I
time.
never understood. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that little plastic bag deal. You know, like I understand like the whole deal itself is an expensive piece of equipment, but you got that big giant huge bag that fills up, and
You
I'm
can
like,
make the bags as big or as small as you want to.
man,
Everybody just use like the big cheese popcorn bag because it's more of a party favor thing and shit.
complicated. Yeah, it's very, very party favory. It's just not something that I could say. And I know a lot of people really dig their fucking volcanoes, and I know they really dig that fucking giant bag, and they'll just sit back and they'll puff
Yeah.
on that fucking bag, and they'll just keep closing it in, and they'll do their thing. And God bless you for doing that. That's not my thing. I can't do it.
Well, it tastes different. You know, I have a Silver Server vaporizer, And it's basically a ceramic heating coil, and you've got like a rheostat dial on it, which is a cool glass piece and shit. And then it's a glass on glass connection with a hose. I didn't have the one. There's one that has a hose, and then it can do bags and shit too. It works really well, and you can get fucking blown out like an old toothbrush off of like half a gram of fucking weed, man. If you get on it and stay on it, it hits differently. The high is different. But the taste is different too, and I'm not really a fan of the vaporized flavor of cannabis so much as I am to just unhealthily combust the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me neither. I thought I was really gonna be into it, when I was a lot
Because it's a
younger.
health thing. I tried it.
Yeah, dude. I even tried, man, back when I couldn't source a vaporizer, right? Because they were expensive. This is like, dude, I don't know. This might even be pre-medical, this might be like 2005 or some shit like that. I looked up how to make a vaporizer and basically make an indirect heat source, and so like I had
Use a light bulb.
I used to I learned how to
Do it.
light bulb, dude. Yeah, it was like put Epsom salt, and don't do this, by the way.
No, yeah, no.
You don't do this anymore. This is old shit. I don't even think they have incandescent light bulbs to be able to do this with. I have an old pack somewhere, but like throw some salt in the light bulb and it'll clean it out. I was blown away. But the problem is you try fucking around with light bulbs, dude, you break them super easy. But it was like it had the shape, you know what I mean? And to be able to like put some weed down in there and then you indirectly light it, and it worked, but God, man, who knows what kind of chemicals are in there? Fucking, you don't want to fucking do that and play around with fucking light bulbs. Try, and it fucking cracked because of the heat and shit like that.
Yeah, man.
A taboo look to it, man. It was like doesn't look right,
I've smoked up some super unhealthy shit through the years, man.
Oh,
super
the old,
fucking. I mean, the cannabis itself, was
I used to get
dubious at best. Let's just say it that way on some things,
I would get brass screens so caked, nasty, shitty that I'd have to replace them. And then when I would run out of weed, I would have those old screens saved up, and I'd run out of drought. And I'd get back to those old
like the screens, yeah.
The fact that you guys bought screens is
I had
because
do you know the days of having to clean out your bowl to get weed?
I didn't have a bowl.
Dude.
I'd pick my boy up. We'd say, "What are we smoking out today?" And we'd look on the floor of my car, and there'd be like a Gatorade bottle, and we'd always have tinfoil around, and we'd make our own stupid shitty bowl, which you should never do. Tinfoil.
Used to use a socket, man.
Clean out.
Yeah.
You'd go clean out your old metal pipe, dude. You'd take all that shit and put it on an old fucking straw wrapper or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with a guy in restaurants, and he used to have, like the metal pipes that would come apart and shit. He had one that fucking had like a grinder chamber like this on the bottom of the pipe, right? And it was so fucking nasty because all the black tar and shit would get down in there. So he would take the lid of this fucking thing off, and he would take a rolling paper, and he would ball this motherfucking rolling paper up, and he would put it down in this tar shit. And then Red laughs because he knows. Red knows what this is. Exactly. He put the fucking top back on it. Put that piece of paper, the rolling paper, in the bowl, and then torch that shit. So now it's getting like second and third generation fucking.
It's so rough. Dude.
Ooh, bro, yeah, man.
A little piece of tissue to clean out the bowl. Oh, that's getting smoked.
Stuck. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Everything.
Somebody out there is laughing their ass off because they too.
They know.
Oh, yeah.
The struggle, man. The struggle was real, and the weed dude wouldn't hit you up. In the signs tell you on the
fucking call, fam.
Remember when bus season was in the air? Bust season, not bus season. Get on the bus. Bust season was in the air, and they'd have the signs on the freeway that said your drought is coming and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's crazy.
The real drought would come, dude. They weren't lying, man.
It'd be dry.
My house would see that shit and be like, "Oh,
buckle up.
We're not getting rain."
Yeah, man.
Jerks.
Raymond says we called it remall, dregs, or conies. Yeah, man. It's it used to be that way.
Not no more.
Look how classy. Look where we at now, huh?
Yeah.
Started there.
Look at me now, Mom.
Noob in chat was talking about myrcene being the most prevalent at the dispo that he works at. Myrcene is, I think, the second most prevalent in nature, and I think that pinene is the most prevalent. Believe it or not,
Prevalent?
it's like prevalent. Pinene is like the number one most common. It's in most things.
Not in cannabis.
Yeah, but not in cannabis. Surprisingly, it's like one of the least common in cannabis. Well, it's kind of nice in some of like that hemp.
What else is
those
it
hemp
in?
varieties kind of have a nice little piney type of smell to it. I think we just bred it away,
Yeah. Wow.
Well, pine, of course. Pine, I think,
Yeah, asteroid.
conifers, the major
That's a fucking asteroid too, bro. It's a
Oh, yeah.
fucking
dominant
beast.
species that they take up a very large portion of the
What kind of stuff has pinene in it besides pine
AK
salt?
used to be big for
huge
pine.
variety of conifers, and like there's a lot of other. I like to say conifer.
Conifer. Yeah.
Conifer. What is it? That has the pinene in it. There's dude.
Pine trees.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
There you go.
talking about the conifers.
Kapow. Look.
Yeah. We'll come fill the gravity bong with that, Skillbell.
Woo-hoo, shit. Annie bar the doors.
Myrcene's really prevalent in nature in a lot of stuff. What's funny about myrcene, though, because a lot of people talk about it being in mangoes, the commercially viable mango that we have available on the shelf, that one has like little to no myrcene in it at all. You have to have like a really good, like a real.
Well, it's interesting. It's like you were saying about the breeding, everything, and like having bottlenecks. You know what industry I found out is fucked? The apple one. There's like so many good strains of apples we lost that didn't make it to the production.
And banana.
Oh, I didn't know about banana.
Pineapple.
There's strains of banana?
Oh, dude. Oh, hundreds of varieties of banana. We're down.
That's crazy.
That one major fucking big banana, dude. Yeah. Oh, baked, dude. I think it'd blow your mind. It'd probably blow all of our minds because I don't know these numbers, but just because like going through like an heirloom like an heirloom seed site, I guess that would be that it was called, like just for vegetables, like that, fruits and vegetables, like the varieties of tomatoes that like don't exist.
Yeah.
Like the commercially viable tomatoes, beefsteak, pink brandywine, maybe
Roma.
Roma. You have these just like 6 or something like that. You go into the heirloom, there's like 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 5 dozen different types of tomatoes that are
Purple tomatoes,
yeah,
yellow,
and then like
green.
into the apple species, like dude, there's so many types
Are
of
there
apples.
purple apples?
Absolutely, purple apples.
Absolutely.
I don't know where they are, what they're called, or who.
Black apples.
They have to exist, dude. They have to exist. There's so many species of everything is what I've learned. And what I've learned is that what you see in the grocery store is a mere blip of the varieties that should exist. All those varieties have different nutrient densities. You know what I mean? And we're stuck with like these little. Becca's totally finding purple apples on the phone right now.
I'll pull it up.
Purple apples.
Purple apples, huh?
Yeah, they exist and they're beautiful.
Well,
Oh, wow. Here we go.
They're beautiful.
How they're
Get
made.
the right screen this time.
I don't know how they're
You
made.
can do it.
Look at these. They look like plums.
Wow.
Plums. There you go.
That's fucking wild looking, man.
Do they taste like a grape?
So my guess is that's a high altitude or somewhere.
Oh,
What, the Willy Wonka?
Oh, that's really cool.
They look like they were spray painted.
Is it dyed mountain? Okay, yeah, there we go. What purpling is anthocyanins, our favorite word.
They're good for you too, man.
Is a resistance to UV
Inflammation.
UV light. It's very similar to chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment that is created from photosynthesis, and it's dependent on sunlight. And so is anthocyanin, which is also dependent on sunlight. And
You're wild, man.
yeah, dude. And most every fruit and vegetable has a cousin or relative or is able to go purple itself just because it's it's what naturally happens, and it's a defense mechanism against UV, or it's a stress mechanism when it's low in magnesium or high in molybdenum, or the list goes on. But whatever happens, the plants can turn purple, they can turn red, they can turn all yellow. I mean, all these different shading of the spectrum happens for a variety of reasons. But then you have genetic shading that's like actually built into the code of it, and that's where you see it with those apples, because you don't need to be in the mountains anymore for it to have that. You don't need the stressor; it'll do it in the wild. You know.
I want purple apples.
Yeah, dude, Scubba, you got some purple apples now, dude.
There's
Yeah. Apples take forever to
You
grow.
know what I
though.
want? Baked. I want you to look something up for us.
Yep.
Look up a purple smoke tree.
Purple smoke tree.
Do you know what those are?
You know,
Those are so
no.
fucking cool when they're fucking in the middle of their bloom.
Yeah.
I want to put one in my yard so bad.
What about red maple?
I've got a red maple that's like black.
Oh my
We're going on
I
landscaping.
got a bunch of fucking trees. Yeah. Okay. So go
gods, they're
make
so beautiful.
click on the one where it's like super purple and fuzzy.
Oh,
Like
that's
this one.
There's some badass fucking trees right here, man.
That's cool.
looks like a Whoville tree, man.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss, man.
A little fucking
No,
who's looking on
actually,
there.
it looks
Keep
like
scrolling. There'll be a really big picture of one that's like fucking.
it looks like the flowers of the what was that? What was that tree?
I can't
I was
remember.
driving through the neighborhoods and seen one of those and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
flowers
You
of
get little ones like that. That's cool.
mimosa flowers.
Mimosa hostilis.
Oh yeah.
I don't know Mimosa hostilis, but mimosa it's possible. I'm not sure. This plant is actually nitrogen fixing. It's good to plant between trees. It'll grow hedge size. But
Mimosa.
it's I'm not sure which mimosa species it is, but it'll
I thought that was a drink.
it is a
certainly
drink.
is.
Yeah, it is a drink.
Mimosa tree.
It's a yeah, it's like a mimosa
The
bush.
first thing that said was Michigan. So that's interesting.
But yeah, so it's good to plant like between trees, like in your orchard, right? And it will,
Its flowers look like that.
yeah, its flowers look Whoville, little poof balls
I
and
forgot
stuff.
about that.
But it'll fix nitrogen for you. It'll take nitrogen out of the air, similar to I think it is related to a legume. I think it's a legume. It's a giant.
Oh.
That's what the build a soil cover crop shit, man. That's
Mhm.
I didn't even really get rid of mine. I just finally got to the point where I trimmed it down with the scissors and just let it go where it lays to help as part of the mulch layer. But man, my plants are fucking happy as shit from that stuff. And what it does is it does pull nitrogen out of the air and make it available in the root area. So everything's cool with it. You would think that it's going to choke things out and your plant's not going to grow, but apparently it's not a problem.
There's this big misconception that everybody's competing for nutrients and for water under the soil. While that might be true in a pot, right? You have a finite amount of space. You have a finite amount of water. You only watered it once a day. 3 days ago. You know what I mean? It's drying out. It's competing. Yeah, sure. All 5 plants you have jammed in a pot might be competing for water. And maybe in the ground, if you have like a whole bunch of the same thing that's real close to, maybe there's some type of a competition. But don't forget that like a tomato will fall, and all of those seeds are next to each other when they start out. Like the natural form is they grow close to each other, and even like a sunflower head, a whole cluster of sunflowers will come up out of the head, and they'll all grow to size. There's no competition. They'll all do their thing. There's enough nutrition in the soil, as long as there's enough microbiology going on, as long as there's enough life and activity and actually other roots and other grasses.
Nothing's locked up or locked out. Yeah.
That's the big thing, is that, people will start going in there and pulling weeds and disturbing the soil and pulling weeds and pulling out things like
Well, the hyphae.
that's the disruption.
Won't someone please think of the hyphae?
Some of those roots are
That's
cycling.
my Helen Lovejoy for you, Baked. It's an after hours movie.
I love that you throw these references at me. I have no clue what you're talking about. Helen who?
Oh, Baked.
It's at least once a show. I'm just like, oh yep. Sure.
I
Baked,
think
have you ever heard of a show called The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Who's Helen on there?
Helen Lovejoy is the minister's wife, and she's always like clutching the pearls about like, won't someone think of the children? Won't so- I've explained the joke to you, but it was a moment thing. It wasn't meant to be dissected. It was just meant
Man,
to
that's
pat
a
her, and
deep
away we go.
Simpson. That's a deep
It's
Simpsons
a deep reference, bro. I was working
reference. Yeah, you have to really watch the Simpsons to get that.
Am I on an island here, Chad? Does no one did? Is it just completely crickets?
Chat. I want to know. Did y'all get that reference? Were y'all thinking the wife of the pastor on The Simpsons? Which you don't see the pastor every episode, so you're damn well not seeing the wife every episode. So that's
I mean, I
deep.
didn't need to learn through repetition like that, bro. It was like, oh, hey, here's a cultural reference, a touchstone, one could say, but no.
Yeah, I had to smash that one.
Damn it.
It's always
Speaking
a
of
good
The Simpsons, I was looking at old games, and there's The Simpsons Hit and Run, if you remember that one. But you guys probably don't. But it's like Taxi, and you just drive around The Simpsons, picking
like,
people up and dropping them
Grand Theft
off.
Auto before that, running people over.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but you can't get out of your car. Yeah, you just go wild and just drive. Like, oh, there's Bert. Pick him up and drive him where he wants. But yeah, you can come over and play it, Scobo. I got 2 controllers.
All right, man.
I feel like I couldn't figure out the Simpsons game.
Which one?
Like the NES Simpsons game, like super old school.
Yeah, I never knew there was a NES one.
K Good says it's a Crazy Taxi clone.
Maybe
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was. K Good knows what I'm talking about.
possible.
Dude, that Bernstein Bear thing stuff is real, so it's
With
possible.
the Mandela effect is what you're claiming?
Yeah, that stuff like you'll just like be like, I remember this, and then you'll Google it and you'll be like, that never existed, you crazy bastard.
I talked about the movie. I talked about that damn Sinbad movie, that genie Sinbad movie.
Bad movie.
Before the shit,
That's
before
another one of them.
Mandela effect shit came into existence.
Sinbad never. I'll Google it right now. We'll this is how they explain it. This is how the government explains it to us.
You know why? Because my homies had a party that he used to throw. My homie's homie, right, used to throw this party down in Detroit called Shazam. Homie. You know, dudes of a dude. He's got this dude who throws these gnarly parties in Detroit called Shazam. They were pretty fucking big, like really big. And I was always like, you mean like the Genie movie, Shazam? No, but dude, I'm talking. This was in like 2000, if not earlier. Like 2004, 2005, 2006, when they were talking about this shit. Maybe 2007, but this is still way before this whole Mandela effect shit was going on, because that shit didn't come out until like 2013, 2014. Maybe 2012 or something. People started talking about this Mandela effect, or Mandela effect, or whatever it's called. I think it's not Mandela, it's Mandela. It's something to do with Nelson Mandela. It's something about it's some people believe that Nelson Mandela was killed in prison, and some people believe that he died at home, like something to that effect.
After prison, he got out and became the president.
Yeah, something like that. But there's the group of people that believe that he died in prison or something like that.
When they made an android?
There's a paradox between the two. Yeah.
So this is the real show that we should have been having the whole time, is the Red and Bake show on. Let's see where we can take this fucking rig,
This is Red. Were you there the other night when I told you this is my theory? That CERN thing they did recently with they found 3 new subatomic particles. They were doing the biggest particle collider. I think they just fucking realigned something in the dimensional thing. You know more about it, but
so you think we ripped it through to a different space-time continuum?
I think like 20, 25 years ago we fucked something up and we were like, oh fuck, we shouldn't have done that. We're bad scientists, and then For 25 years, they've been trying to fix it, and that's what it was. And then they fixed it this last month, just quietly. They always do everything quietly.
What part of this rate in the last month is fixed, bro? This
That's what I'm
thing's a
saying,
fucking
dude. That's what
dumpster fire. What the
out,
fuck?
Because now there's pictures of the
She ain't
burn.
fixed.
There's pictures. There's a picture of both of the Bernstein and the Bernstein bears in the same picture. And so it's like the parallel universes just got mashed back together.
Okay, so wait a second. So that's fixing
We-
it.
Got mashed back
So-
We were
together.
split. We were split apart, and that
Oreo
caused
cookie.
a little turmoil. Now
So
we're
wait a second.
back together.
So the movie Shazam with Sinbad is about to be on YouTube, and we're gonna be able to search this thing.
So it might happen, is what I'm saying. It could happen, and we're about to see it. Yeah,
Okay. That would be interesting. That would really be.
yeah.
I thought you were going to tie it into the whole Mayan calendar thing in 2012. Like you could have said that it started in 2000 when they had like the computer glitch. That's what started it, and then
Yeah, something
2012
like that.
kind of fix. You got to write these a little tighter, man. You got to work this material out a little bit more
Right.
before you
It's
present it to the rest.
theory is a theory. You poke holes and we'll fill the holes.
So what
We'll
I
fill
heard,
the holes.
I heard about what I heard about the 2012 thing is, and a lot of people say, oh, it was because the calendar was off by 10 years or something like that. Which, yeah, sure, that makes sense. A lot of shit went down. Some people say some people say that there was this. Yeah, I like that one. Some people say that there was this galactical alignment, right, between the Earth, the Sun, the center of our galaxy, which is a black hole, and some other stuff. And that happened in 2012, right? And so this shifted our poles, and maybe not our poles, but our magnetism ever so slightly, so that all of our seasons were going to slowly shift off right. And slowly every year, if you've noticed since 2012, we've been getting our winters have been getting a little bit shorter. It's getting a little bit colder a little bit earlier, but it gets really warm in March and shit, where we would have used to have like snow in late February, early March. It's usually pretty melted out. We're not getting those, we're getting 80-degree temperatures in March, and on my birthday. And I know March because it's my birthday, so like that's my timeline. I'm always paying attention to the weather patterns and shit. And that
I always pay attention to weather patterns.
What are you saying though? So we're short. We got shorter winter.
Shorter winter. No, so what I'm saying is since 2012, we've been
shifted.
slowly.
It was just 40 degrees centigrade in the UK today, which is like 104 degrees.
Yeah,
What's shifting though? I'm trying to get like
our seasons shifted like 30% or something. So basically,
like forward or backward on the date.
kind of backward.
So they're gonna come earlier.
Winter happens in fall. Spring.
Okay, I see what you're saying. They shift.
And so these shifts are gonna, and it's a slow progression, right? That takes maybe a couple decades to take place. But it's slowly. And I'll tell you what, man, if in the last 10 years, if it almost doesn't seem like winter's happening a little earlier, spring's coming a little bit earlier than I remember as a youngin. Or even from 10 years. Even 10 years.
That's the problem, Red. They're saying with all the other stuff is we were young 90s kids, and we're not remembering right, like the Shazam stuff.
No, man, I talked about it. Like I talked about that.
No, man, I talked about it.
It was a thing for me. Like I was.
It was Shaq.
And shit. I was into the
It was
boat.
Shaq that was the genie.
And all that
It
shit.
was
And
Shaq.
I think Sinbad had a commercial for something where he was a
Shaq
genie.
also had a movie. Shaq had a movie also around this. It wasn't even in the same time era, but Shaq also had a movie. I think it was after the Sinbad movie. Sinbad had a movie, and then like it was a couple years later, maybe a year later, Shaq had a movie.
No, watch this, man.
Shaq's movie was like Disney or some shit.
Oh no. I have to search it.
This is good shit, man.
Yeah.
Shaq's,
I do want to say cheers
Listen.
to everybody in chat. Thanks for hanging out deep into the conversation with us.
Kazam. Sinbad was Kazam.
No, Shaq was Kazam.
Shaq was Kazam. Shaq is Kazam. That's
I
right.
think.
Sinbad was Shazam.
Yeah, he was in it. Shaquille
That's-
O'Neal starred as a genie
Sam
in the
was
1996 movie Kazam.
dude. This dude of a dude had a party called Shazam, and this was back in the day, and I know that's where he got the name of that shit from. It was from that fucking old school movie. I don't know for sure because I don't talk to a dude like that.
Red, say Shazam.
Shazam. If I say it 3 times, this genie's gonna pop up behind.
Don't do it in the mirror, Red. Candyman.
Shazam. I want a genie. You want a genie. Then you get 3 wishes. You can wish for more wishes.
Yeah, but it could be like the monkey's paw kind of wishes. You know, like where you get your wish.
Oh,
Does anybody know the
where
tale
you-
of the monkey's paw?
Do you know how you beat the monkeys? I don't know it, but hang on. I think I know. Are you? Go ahead and talk about it. Actually,
The
Let's
tale
explain
of
it
the
first.
monkey's paw is that there's this little like mummified monkey's hand, okay, and it grants the person that possesses it 3 wishes, right? So the thing is, you have to be careful what you wish for, because it'll grant your wish, but it'll grant it in such a way as to be a travesty rather than like something really good.
Do you
So
know
like
how
the
to
first
beat
thing,
that? Do you know how to beat
well,
that?
how do you beat
You think your wishes through, people. Think them through,
that?
and
Okay.
you word them in a way so it's like, let's watch this. Watch this, Skilbo. I wish
Here we go.
$1 bajillion and nothing bad to happen when I get it.
So what would happen is the next morning when you wake up, you would be smothered underneath of the pile of money that fell on you after
I
the
said
clock
nothing
struck
bad when I
12.
get it.
When you get
That's
it,
horseshit.
it was the next day. That's
I
the
want
monkey's paw,
warranty.
bro. That's how you got to do it. So what happens in the tale of the monkey's paw is that the
Okay, so I
they
say
make the
ever.
first wish.
I add the word ever on the
Okay,
end of
then
it.
something horrible will befall your family.
You get
Or
it, and it's
something-
locked.
it's going to something is going to be funny about it. It's
I
just
think
the
I
way
think if I found
you
like an
can't
English
argue with the
major,
monkey's paw, bro.
I
It's a
could find a
thing.
good way to word every wish you
It's
wanted.
the monkey's paw, bro.
Well, the monkey's only so
Eat
smart.
the monkey's
We
paw,
evolved. We evolved past the monkey.
dude. The monkey's paw, man.
Shock
And
the
then we
monkey.
invented literature and words.
Literature. And then the theory was that if you had 100 monkeys at 100 typewriters for 100 years, that they may in fact write some Shakespeare.
Just quoted Peter Gabriel.
I totally did. Thank you for catching that.
Oh jeez.
See, there's an obscure one that Red gets. All right, I'm back in the game, guys.
I fucking
Yeah.
love that song, dude. It's great,
Sing it.
dude. Oh, wow. Shock the monkey.
Becca, do you get the song that they're talking about? Okay,
No.
me neither. I don't. I'm
It's
lost.
Peter Gabriel's Shock the
Peter
Monkey
Gabriel's
from
Shock
like 1980 or some shit, man. It's old.
Okay. Well, I got the Peter Gabriel part, but I'd have to Google it to figure out what you're talking about.
Ah, good
Monkeys
shit,
have
man.
paws. I thought they had
The monkey
fingers.
claws.
Monkeys don't even have paws, Skilbo. They have hands.
It's the name of the story, brother. I didn't
Yeah,
write
so
it.
it's a
I'm just
horseshit story off
passing
the
it
rip.
on. They showed it to us when we were in like elementary school. It was kind of a
Nickelodeon.
thing when we were like
Nickelodeon
third
back
grade, man.
had I say back in the day, it was
The
in
MPGS effect.
in the
Shout out
mid-90s.
Noah.
The MPGS effect. I love it. Mid-90s had a show called Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it would come on, I think, Friday.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein or some shit.
Yeah. And it was like a little scary story time, you know. Come on, like
Weren't they in their books too?
yeah, one of the stories was like the monkey paw story. It was like
Yeah.
It's, you know,
yeah. And they got a monkey paw. It wasn't a monkey paw, it was a
Wasn't it just one of those vending machines
was like
with
a
a
claw.
head in it?
No, this was like a claw of like a
there's
crow.
also the one with like the gypsy fortune teller that's like the animatronic kind.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Talking about the movie Big.
Uh,
Oh,
Too high to know where the reference came from on that one.
isn't
man.
that the one about the AIDS guy?
No, dude. Who's that? That's
With
Tom Hanks.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks, and he goes to the gypsy down on the boardwalk the gypsy.
Thank you, Blue Kiss. She's telling you right in chat, Baked.
What is it?
I know what a monkey
She
paw
says,
is,
how
but
can that boomer file not
but-
know what the monkey paw is?
Blue
It's like a
Kiss,
shrunken head, but a monkey
you
paw.
boomers create words that mean nothing because the monkey doesn't have a paw. It's got hands. It's got an opposable thumb.
And a
It's one of the few
prehensile
things it
tail.
does. Yeah.
Hmm? What could Red Setter Farm achieve if he had a prehensile tail?
So why did you never
one that you
question
can
that?
use to, assist you in climbing trees and
If Red had
fetching
one?
things and
Yeah.
catching balls. Juggling would be different with a prehensile tail. You have to admit that.
I think we would make really good use of a prehensile tail, like gardening and everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could
The
put
extra hand, pretty much. I mean,
Right.
it's not as nimble as a fingered hand, but you could still bat with it.
Yeah.
Now Eric thinks they said rock songs. No, bro. Shock the Monkey was the rock song. Now I'm all fucked up. The Tale of the Monkey's Paw is the or Curse of the Monkey's Paw, whatever the hell it was. It was the Monkey's Paw. It was not the Monkey's
Sing it,
head.
Skilbo. Sing it.
Red does so much better than that.
Hey man,
Hey man, that's right. Get my back, bro.
Nobody has to believe me that I said or what I didn't say back in
Mandala effect, Red. Mandala effect.
It happened, and it did. In my reality, I was there. I mean, I was the one that was there.
That's what I'm saying, man. The scientists, they messed something up and they screwed up your reality.
It was on the shelf.
It was on the show. I'm telling you, man. Just got to go back and find it somewhere.
It was on the shelf. It was a movie to have been seen. I feel like I've seen it. I probably
find it on eBay then.
You can't, dude. That's the bizarre part about it. Do you think
find it? The government or maybe the what is it, a corporation, something like that, bought them all up just to prove a point? Like
I have no idea,
They
man.
didn't prove a point because it's gone, so there's no point to be proven. In fact, there's an absence of proof.
Wild that the absence of proof exists. Like there's a conspiracy that Sinbad himself wiped the data. Like
Red.
I mean, come on, man.
Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
You have all that good Nintendo stuff, like the Nintendo cloner and stuff, and you didn't keep your Shazam movie.
I didn't have it.
Oh,
Say it,
okay.
Red.
I didn't
Say
have
it one time.
And
it's like
it's one of those things, man. I feel like I saw it in like the DVD bin. It wouldn't have been a DVD.
It definitely would not. 96.
In the VHS
DVDs from 96.
Dearborn Music used to have, they probably still do. Dearborn Music had all of these old VHS.
Check it.
I feel like I saw it there.
Big, do you want to know some really crazy shit?
I know they probably were out, but they weren't
one.
mainstream.
Okay,
I don't think anybody here had a DVD player in 96. That'd be crazy early.
I saw it at Dearborn Music. It was over 10 years ago, way before they moved to their current location. They had an old location.
Oh, I gotta put this up.
Sure.
When did DVDs come out?
2001.
97.
Oh, I missed it by a fucking year, man. Damn it. I'm
Yeah.
close, man. Give me some credit.
They came out listed at $800 and up. I know my dad wasn't buying no $800 device.
Damn.
You know what got me is I used to think that CDs, because we got like a CD player in like 85 or some shit. So I always thought that like CD players came out like around that time. And I was arguing with some fucking hayseed, and they were like, well, I didn't have one until 95. I'm like, you honestly believe the CDs did not exist before 1995? Get the fuck out of here. So, pulled up the phone and proved it. And then I was like,
82.
I was taken aback because it was like 1978 is when CDs originally fucking came out, which is crazy as fuck. But there's no content being created on them, but them as a format existed.
Yeah.
Kind of like the whole original beta and VHS and the laser discs and all that crazy
Okay, what about this one, man? What if Shaq's got money? What if Shaq wiped it because he came out?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Shaq would try to sell you icy hot before he would try to erase absence of something. Trust me when I tell you.
He came out with that.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna roll with that theory, Red.
Okay,
Shaq
take it to its logical conclusion then, bro.
Shaq, they both had a video. They both had a Genie movie. Everyone knew Sinbad's was so much funnier and better because Sinbad was an actor and a comedian, not Shaq, who's just NBA star.
He's never
Doesn't
watched
know how to
NBA.
act.
Fucking.
There was always
And so Shaq said, "I'm gonna wipe this one from history, and then I'm the only genie movie."
Exactly.
Chat,
I
what do
like
you guys
it.
think
I
about
like
this
it.
theory?
Write it down.
Does this hold water?
Movies that came out. Remember? when
Actually,
Tim
don't
Allen
write it
did
down.
that
Then the
movie?
government will come.
Okay, so Tim Allen did a few movies one time. He did this one movie where it was like Little Indian Big City. Tim Allen has a adopted kid who's from a native tribe or something like that, and he comes to this big
I
city.
had that one.
They go camping. Well, there's
What, on DVD?
There's
No,
another
VHS.
there's another movie called Big City Little Indian. Okay, and it's the exact same movie but with different actors and actresses.
Hold on. Let's Google this. I got tabs. Big City,
and
Little
Indian.
And what's the other one?
the other one's like Little Indian and Big City, or so they're like reverses of each other, but they're just
What was little is big, and what was big is now little.
Movie.
I'm getting the
It's
same
called Jungle
result.
to
I'm getting
Jungle,
the
is
same
what K
result,
Good
though.
says.
Then Google.
Here, I'm gonna
Google
open it up
that,
so we can
but
Google together.
different actors or something like that. See if the other movie pops up.
Tim Allen.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. He didn't get him. He's not a Native American. He's like a jungle kid from the Amazon.
It's called Jungle to Jungle, is what K Good's telling us.
Okay, Jungle to Jungle.
Jungle to Jungle.
Okay. Then there's
Yes.
another movie. Then there's another movie called Little Indian Big City or Little
This one
something.
It's Indian in the Cupboard.
There
right
it is.
here.
Right there, Little Indian Big City.
Okay.
It's the same premise.
It's the exact same movie. It's the exact same movie, different actors. Yeah, it's the exact same.
Oh, well, when
Sounds
did
like there
when
was
did
some
when
jiggery
did Tim
pokery
Allen
going on to get
come
that
out?
going.
And this is 94. So this is around the same time that they were doing that shit.
97 was
They're doing
Tim
that shit.
Allen.
They were having like multiple.
They're fucking with us. They're gaslighting us.
I'm telling you, man.
Gaslighting.
They did a
They're fucking trolling us.
You don't remember that at all.
And then they did another one with fucking Shaq, and they kept the one with Shaq, and for some reason they got rid of the one with Sinbad.
Bro, we're gonna get taken down. We figured it out. That's nuts.
Super nuts, dude.
They haven't caught that one though.
Yet.
Yeah,
They
now
will
they're
now.
going to. Now their algorithms are working.
I'm glad.
Why does it have to have the nefarious fingers that go with that?
Trying to figure that out.
It's government algorithm.
Didn't take too much. No, the Indian in the Cupboard is totally different. That's in itself. That's a novel.
That was a good movie.
That was a good book. Yeah, I mean, and movie. It's a great movie.
I wonder if there's an actual. You should make a third channel called Red Setter Film Reviews.
Oh man,
the Indian
What
in
do
the
you
Cupboard
think?
actually came out
Would this content move, guys?
as a movie like more recent than not, but it was like an old movie. Like the Indian in the Cupboard came out like there's like a late 80s, early 90s version of it before it came out, and like isn't it like didn't they come out with like a new version after 2000 something?
No,
they didn't.
Even Becca's got to chime in on this. Like, no, come on, get out of here.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe the Indian in the Cupboard is only that one movie then, right? There's not a second. There's not a remake of it.
I don't
Is it
think
just that one from the
so.
early 90s then, early mid 90s, probably mid to late 90s.
Ah, shit, man.
Well, shoot.
The book is a good book though, really fucking good book.
we had to read that in school. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it was a fucking scholastic read for us for sure.
Bookmobile shit.
Yeah, I'm blown away. So, how many people had to read that? You know, we all kind of had to read the curriculum. You know, school curriculums. Those are.
I don't know if I had to read it in school or my mom.
Did anybody
You know,
read
yeah,
where the
maybe
red fern
read it.
grows? Old Yeller? Any of those still hanging around?
No.
To Kill
What
a
about
Mockingbird.
I think we had to read The Secret Garden
Secret Gardens.
or
You ever
something like that, where there was this like secret garden.
What was the secret garden? Was it in your mind, or was it? The
I don't
friends you
remember.
made
I
along
just
the
remember
way?
being like, "Oh, how the hell do you have a secret garden?" Like,
Dude,
if
we
you're
all
on the
have a
second-
secret garden. Of course
if you're
we
on
do.
the second story, you
grower.
can see everything in your yard. You would see the garden.
But you
just
could
'cause there's
camouflage
some
it. You could get
bushes
the
around it.
army netting from a surplus place. You know, like the shit they had during like Korea. You know, so that when helicopters flew over, it looked like trees
Yeah, but
rather than a bunch of
this
trucks.
book was taking place in like 1400 or something. They didn't have that.
What? What book was in the 1400s?
The
fucking-
Secret Garden, I think.
Bro, the printing press wasn't invented until shortly before that.
It does.
Just saying.
Scobo, you can have a story take place before the technology.
But is it truly a story if it was only an oral story?
Was it
Or
the
does
movie?
it have to be committed
I'm
to
saying,
pen?
I can have a story about dinosaurs.
But you would only be
The printing press
speculating.
wasn't invented when dinosaurs were around.
Was it
Touche, my friend, touche.
was it the Secret Garden where all the
I thought that was the one where the
wardrobes were green? They were all green. Everybody was green.
Were they topiaries?
I thought it was
There's a
the
fancy
chick,
word for you. You don't get to trot out
chick
every day.
or a boy who was like
Maybe it wasn't
handicapped,
Secret Garden.
and they had a secret garden, and then they end up walking. I don't know. It was a long
Look at the
time
plot,
ago.
bro. Give me the cliff notes. Give me the bacon.
Yeah,
notes.
I'm going to the Wikipedia.
Oh.
Yeah,
This
look at this
movie,
picture. Look at this picture
Okay,
right
is it
here.
like the Green Man?
It's a
Oh, the
chick
whole
about to
movie's
put a
green.
key into like some bushes, and it's like, how do you not know there's a garden behind bushes when you own a castle? Look at this.
Interesting.
Oh, look.
Secret Garden's a great one.
It's a secret garden.
What year
What's
is
the
it
plot?
released in? Baked.
It was
Is
released
it the 1400s?
in 1911.
The 1400s. It may as well be fucking.
Hold on,
1911, 1400. What the fuck?
But I was saying where it was set in. But I guess it's set in the
Okay,
20th
okay.
century, whatever that is.
Whenever the 20th century was.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Lo these 22 years ago.
Yeah. I'm not reading this whole plot for
Okay,
y'all.
all
Y'all
right.
can Google this.
It doesn't sound like it was a very memorable story. Then
No, it
we'll let her
wasn't.
go.
Red liked it, but
Yeah, I like the Secret Garden.
Talking about the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. We could talk about that.
There was another movie. I do want to talk about that actually. There's another movie that was it was about a garden or something. I don't know. I can't remember who was in it, but it was every scene, the setting, the scene, or the scenery was like shades of green, right? The wallpaper would be in green, but their wardrobe would also be in green, whether it's like a dark and just both characters would always be in green. And it was like super cool. Like you wouldn't even notice if you watched the whole movie. You wouldn't even notice. But then if you rewatch the movie and you like looked for the green, you'd be like, holy shit, there's green in every single scene. It's a really cool movie how they did it.
oh, so like they blend in the green.
Yeah, it's
It's not like obvious everything's green.
Yeah, it's not obvious at all. It's in their wardrobe, it's in everything. It's super cool. I think that it's at least in their wardrobe. At very least.
It's a really old movie.
No, it's from the early 2000s ish era. And dude, the Secret Garden was coming to mind, but it's not the Secret Garden.
The 1400s.
It's one of those movies about it's like a romantic story. A couple kids meet when they're young. It's
Romeo and Juliet.
It's not Romeo and Juliet, which is actually the Leonardo DiCaprio
The remake of that. Yeah.
really good, dude. I do like that. It's a really cool movie. That like modern urban version of it is pretty cool. But it's like about like a kid who's who's like a garden keeper at like old lady's mansion, and she's got a niece, and they end up growing up together and falling in love later in the story, old love story. But I can't remember the name of the movie, man. I'm sure The Hidden Door.
The
Hidden Door. That's
Might be. I don't know. I'll look it up, but it's possible.
Yeah, let me look this up. The
Stoners in their movies and recollections, man. I tell you.
The Hidden Door was
Like
a
a
book.
fucking. It's the Berenstain Effect.
By Emma
I
Nicole.
didn't say the Mandela Effect.
No,
Yeah.
Some Blue Lagoon shit. That's the old Brooke Shields one.
There's a bunch of books named the Hidden
Flowers
Door.
in the Attic or some shit like that too.
Through the Hidden Door.
Through the Hidden Door.
Yeah.
so many doors.
Yeah.
So little time.
I don't know.
What's going on tonight, Becca?
Bedtime.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to eat some food.
What are you gonna have?
Probably my like peanut butter sandwich I like to have with raspberries and cinnamon. Yummy.
Cinnamon, okay.
A little
Make it look
diabolical.
fancy.
It's so good. It's like peanut butter and jelly, but so much better. And it's like fresh raspberries.
That's a bold statement. I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
Bold statement.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly is almost a perfect sandwich.
Raspberries.
Do you like more peanut butter or more jelly?
I would probably put more
Ooh.
peanut butter.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut
What
Yeah.
about you, Becca?
butter time.
Jelly.
What kind of jelly? Grape or strawberry?
I like both, but like if it's a classic peanut butter and jelly,
Desert Island.
Supposed to be grape.
Grape, yeah.
They used to make this shit called goober
I
grape.
get crap at work because everybody likes strawberry. I go, you're doing it wrong.
I go strawberry.
Strawberry is standalone.
cold grape jelly
Yeah.
with like a decent amount of peanut butter.
Strawberry preserves and chunky peanut butter.
Oh.
Cheers, Dro.
Got a tooth to do it.
I feel like you should have to make your own chunky by buying smooth
Ooh, can
and
we
buying
highlight?
peanuts.
Can we highlight Dro's comment? This
Yeah.
is a really good movie. I
Movie
like this
idea. You can travel through each universe within the multiverse only when you see yourself in the mirror while
While
tripping on
tripping on
mushrooms.
shrooms. I'm on probably like the 4th world or the 5th world by now, I
I
think.
think you can already do that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a
Well,
good.
he's saying make
That's
a movie
good
about
idea.
it.
Yeah, man.
What would they do in the other dimensions?
What
While
we're doing right
while
now. You are another
tripping?
dimension, bro.
Would
That's
you
the
talk to your other dimension self?
That's the different seasons of the movie, or that's the different sequels.
Yeah, man. And then think about this. You get to another universe where like psilocybin is very hard to source, so you're stuck on this like really square planet that sucks, and you're kind of like,
You're stuck
Dude.
there. You're
stuck
stuck.
until you can source some
Hold
shit,
on.
man. So now you're the guy that's out there looking around all the cow patties and then becoming your
Why are you
own.
on another planet?
It's another universe, bro. That's by
No,
definition.
but I think a multiverse. The multiverse is like you go and there's a skillbo with hair, and then you
Oh,
hop
wow.
through the mirror, and now there's a skillbo who took over Walmart, or something. I don't know,
Okay.
There's a
There's a
version
used
of
car
you.
salesman out there somewhere.
There's. I think that's
Okay.
just because that's what they do with the new all
I
the
can get
action
behind that,
heroes
man.
like Spider-Man. There's
in an
there's a
infinite
version.
in an infinite universe, which that's a hell of an
Yeah.
assumption to make. But in an infinite universe, then therefore it would follow
It's possible.
that there are infinite possibilities, and therefore,
I
while
can
not a
see that.
probability, there still exists a possibility.
Yeah.
And that gets like crazy, man, because it's not just like infinite yous or me's or Becca's or Bakes. It's infinite. Where are you at? It's infinite like encounters. It's infinite like everything involved in each person's life.
Yeah, but I think safe to say, Red, if the portal is a mirror,
Fractal. It's
if the portal is a mirror, you're gonna come out of a mirror on the other side. So you're probably not gonna be on like a random asteroid.
So do we have to say red setter 3 times in the mirror to get red to appear?
So when Alice went through the looking glass, she didn't come back in the same place. She came back in a different place.
Okay.
Wait, I thought she went down the rabbit hole.
Exactly. And she was behind the looking glass, but she didn't come back through the rabbit hole.
Yeah, she had. Yeah, she. I don't remember how she got back. Did she ever? No. She chose to live there and make a life.
If you have ever done it, have you ever watched the original Alice in Wonderland cartoon? That was a really good one.
Probably.
Dude, even better
The Disney one.
cartoon. Oh my god, dude. I love talking about the 1985 made for TV version.
Oh, that's a trip. Can you bring up a picture of this? Because these characters are trippy
Yeah.
as fuck looking.
1985 what?
Davis Jr. plays
Alice in
Absalom.
Wonderland.
All right.
Sammy Davis Jr. plays Absalom the caterpillar. He does a song and dance, dude. I have this movie on DVD. It's fan-fucking-tastic.
Have you ever seen The Wiz, which is the Michael Jackson, Diana Ross interpretation of Wizard of Oz?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, just click on some of those characters, like the Absalom one next to the girl.
Absalom. That's
Next
Sammy.
one, that's Sammy Davis Jr. Look at that.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
man. There we
Yeah.
go.
Scott Baio plays this dog.
Oh, look, there's what's his face?
Who
Who is that? He's that actor.
Yeah, dude, they're all
He's
famous.
that actor.
They're all famous actors and actresses.
Damn it. I can't remember his name.
The White Rabbit is actually a real famous dude as well.
The problem is it's really hard to find this to watch, right?
It's impossible.
Really?
I had to dig. I got that one.
It's literally on
I
YouTube.
found it at Meyer,
Is
dude.
the whole movie there?
It was
Part 1, hour and 30 minutes.
Oh,
So then
shit.
you guys gotta find part 2.
Jabberwocky. The Jabberwocky is in it.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and speak
Fucking
for it. Let's give a
Go to the
little
very end of
Little
part one.
preview.
Very
little
end of part
trailer.
one.
There he
So
is, right there.
Sammy,
Oh yeah,
There it
dude. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes right there. Sammy. That's where they do the dance.
It's so ridiculous. The dance.
oh, here's this guy.
Oh, dude. So I grew up. I watched this. This was on a VHS tape. My parents recorded this from TV.
This would freak me out.
This from
That's
TV
what I'm saying too, bro. I'm like,
because it was on like ABC or whatever. So when I was growing up, this was one of the tapes that I had to play. Was this?
oh, I love the Cheshire Cat.
So I've watched this.
Oh,
thing.
that was the cat?
That was the
Un-
Cheshire Cat, bro.
Dude.
What graphics?
I'm telling you, that was cutting edge for 1985.
Cutting edge. The Cheshire Cat. Dude, it's a bizarre movie. It's super wild. And then there's a scene. There's a second part. It's like 4 hours long. It's super fucking long.
Yeah, that's why it was part 1, I guess.
Part one's like 2 hour long. It's really long. And so we had this thing like on a VHS, and it was only most of it. It wasn't the entire thing.
So you never get to know what the conclusion of the story.
Yeah, dude. There's
Whoa.
the scene with the what is it? The walrus and the carpenter and the walrus is in it.
Cuckoo, Cuckoo. That
dude,
kind of walrus.
Sorry, yeah, Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr is in it. That's right. Ringo Starr actually plays a tortoise. Ringo Starr plays a lonely tortoise.
He should have played an octopus, man.
During the carpenter and the walrus
Octopus Garden.
scene. And it's super bizarre, dude. That's right, Ringo Starr's in it. It's a wild movie, man. 1985. Yeah, it's one of those like I was born in 85, so like I'm really into like all those random little nostalgic things that kind of came out. And
Fred is truly an 80s baby.
dude, that's one of those things, and it was wild growing up watching that too, because it was just always it was my go-to, and it came on. Our video would come on about 5 to 10 minutes in. It always missed the very intro. The very intro was never in our version, and then the last hour or whatever wasn't in it either. No, the dog's barking. I'll go get it. But dude,
JMB says Apocalypse Now is what I used to watch on streams. Bro, that's a pretty heavy fucking movie, and some pretty dark fucking themes going on in that one.
Yeah, but it does have a lot of explosions and
A lot of dark scenes.
good
Man.
visuals.
Becca, have you ever seen A Clockwork Orange? Bake, have you ever seen that movie?
We watched that in school.
What?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
Holy
the one
shit.
where the two kids walk around like
Yeah, the
apocalyptic England kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Druids,
and
man,
they do
Druids.
some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched that in school.
It's pretty
Now
progressive.
that I think about it, yeah. That was during a time where they couldn't decide what the hell the parents wanted to let us actually read and stuff. So one year I'd read it. People in my grade below or something, they wouldn't read it. They'd have something else completely different to read. It changed every year.
You were the test subject for that. That was the
It was
Berenstein
like
Bears thing,
they
Clockwork
won't read
Orange. Yeah.
the Mockingbird book to kids anymore.
To Kill a
How to
Mockingbird.
Kill a Mockingbird. They don't do that one anymore. That's nuts. But
It's funny, people don't think that they read books anymore, but they read thousands and thousands and thousands of words a day on electronic devices, whether it's at work or at home.
well, and let's be. I mean, I have this thing like before books and written word. What did we have? We just had oral. We had like you had a guy that would tell do something in front of a bunch of people speaking. But then we invented books, right? Paper, right?
Books.
Okay. And that advanced storytelling. What did we invent after? movies and TV, and
And
that's
that takes us
that's
like,
just advancement of storytelling.
and it advances us right to the last minute of the show. I do want to say thanks to everybody for coming through. It's been a hell of a ride this evening. If you haven't already, please leave the show a thumbs up on the way out.
Last minute.
And we will see you. A developing story was that we are planning on having a Wake and Bake with the Groskies this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for it. So come through then. And if you can't make that, come back Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Bro Show Live.
Oh,
Right.
DOG says, yeah, man.
Yeah, he's signing off.
Signing off.
This is Chuck, you betcha, and I'm
Chuck
signing off.
Woolery.
Chuck Dimmadome, home of the Dimsdale Dimmadang. All right. Well.
Wow.
letting it right out.
That's what we do, man.